Hello guys, this is Joshua Hawes. As you can tell by the start of the video, I'm going to be doing a review for Hawkeye. I'll put it as season 1 just in case they do another season, but I haven't confirmed it or anything like that. So we'll just say it's the first season. The reason why I haven't been doing weekly episodes like I normally do is just simply to the fact that it's time consuming and there was a lot of kind of stuff to do because I had early December at college. I had my pantomime for my course and stuff, and that took a lot of time. And I was also going to be watching quite a few films that month because main ones were being Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then not long after that, Spider-Man No Way Home, which I did drop a review for both of those. So I just wasn't really going to get the time because plus with Christmas coming up and Christmas shopping and just December could be a busy month, and a lot of this show was happening during December, so I just thought it'd be easier for me if I just do it full season review, and if this will be easy in future, I'll keep doing this. We'll see. But one of my overall thoughts on this show, I had a really fun time. This show isn't trying to be this big, grand, bonkers, out of this world thing like some of the other shows are, which this is definitely the most smallest scale show, and it is probably not, I wouldn't say my favourite show. I think out of all 5 shows, probably the weakest. I do think it's better than What If though, because although I love What If, the What If doesn't really have as much urgency and importance. It's just like a really fun thing to do. So I'd say it's better than that, but out of all the live action shows, I would say it's at the bottom. Not because the show's bad, it's really good. I just think all the shows are really good, and this one, because of its smaller scale and some other really so big scale stuff, that's just how I feel about it. Overall though, I really had a lot of fun with this show. The way they were able to introduce these new characters, like Kate Bishop as the Hawkeye, and the partner for Hawkeye in this show is really good. They have a really good kind of story between those two that builds where Clint Barton and Hawkeye wants nothing to do with her, but over time he calls her his partner, which means a lot more because he hasn't had a partner since Black Widow, unfortunately. It's a spoiler for Endgame, but if you're watching this, you've probably seen Endgame, where Black Widow, of course, dies. So, and that was the last time he ever had any true partner, and he kind of realizes that he needs a partner and how much that means to him because he had Black Widow, and when he was on his own, he was roaming killing people. So, and now that he's found a partner with Kate Bishop, that is going to help him make the right choices, and their relationship just works really well together. I really like the way they play into Hawkeye's past as Ronin as something because of certain situations in the show, means he has to remember that and just isn't able to just run away from that and that like can never happen. Like this, his past and the mistakes of his past have an impact on this show and what's to come. So that's, I think, really cool that Hawkeye's mistakes have an impact, and it kind of just makes it feel more realistic. So I really liked it. I really like how grounded this spot is because it's mainly, although it's mainly about this Hawkeye just trying to get home for Christmas. And although this is just how I felt about it, it is set during the Christmas time. Hawkeye wants to get this job done and save the day so before Christmas so he can get home for Christmas in time. But it doesn't make this a Christmas. It's just set in the time because they're Christmas things. But this is a film you could certainly watch when it's not Christmas and it won't feel odd or out of place. Like I have a feeling that Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special will feel really out of place if you watch it any time that isn't Christmas. So, because it's a holiday special. That's just kind of how I feel about that. But I will say this was really good. I really liked its small scale. It also has a lot of fun with things, like we saw in the trailer. Watches the musical, which isn't a big thing, but you see a musical number and it's so cheesy and over the top, and as someone who likes musical theatre, I had a lot of fun of it, even if it's not necessarily my type of musical theatre, but it's still a type of musical theatre, and I wouldn't necessarily say I would love to see it like all the time, like pay West End theatre price tickets to see a full length show. But if they decided they were gonna put a full length show on Disney Plus, and you can have it performed to a public audience like one day, but it's mainly gonna be something you put on Disney Plus. I think that could be a fun watch, but I wouldn't pay like West End ticket price to see it. Like I wouldn't really pay for it. But if it was just there on a streaming service, I'd probably watch it and have a lot of fun with it. But that's just kind of how I feel about it, because it's a lot of fun. I don't think they're going to do anything like that with a full-length musical. But it gives you a little insight of what that would be. And someone who likes musical theatre, I had a lot of fun with that. The villain, not to spoil it, is a big deal. But they just rely on your knowledge of this character. Although we haven't seen any of the films or do you? It's weird, but once you've seen it, you might be able to connect the dots. Once you they rely on your knowledge of the character to make that a rewarding finale. When in reality, he doesn't do a whole lot. I'm trying not to spoil it, but they rely on your knowledge of the character, not what they present in this show. So I'm gonna have to go back because I don't know how to really describe it without spoiling it. But if you I don't really have a lot of knowledge of this character. I haven't seen the other stuff he was in, and that's all I'll say. So I now need to rewatch to kind of understand how his character works, because they didn't do, I think, a good enough job in this show. And yeah, that's just because I have a feel about the man who's secretly behind this all. But yeah, so that's just something I will say. But it was weird. My only flaw is that I feel like you could have done a few more episodes of this, because although the finale, I think, is a satisfactory finale that they've spent good time building into and stuff, I feel like they could, if they made some of the episodes longer, just had a couple more episodes in there to build it, it wouldn't feel rushed. Because although it's a satisfactory conclusion, it feels rushed a bit because it's only 6 episodes. But I feel like this is a show you could have 9 odd episodes in and something. And one thing that is that there's not a lot of stakes. It's not something where the stakes feel high. Like usually with these shows, the shows kind of build up to episode 4 where the stakes really kind of get in, and you have really good episodes before then that build to where the stakes are really high, and it feels great and it feels earned when those stakes are. But there was an gradual increase in the story. There's nothing on the edge of tension going on with the film. But that's understandable because it's smaller scaled. But that's just something I wanted to mention when doing it. In terms of what it sets up for the future, not really a lot, which is something a bit annoying. It doesn't really at all set up anything as far as I know for the future, unlike what movies and certain other stuff the shows have done. It has TV shows don't usually set loads of stuff, but they give you a small little thing to rely on to understand somewhat of where they're headed. They give you enough though to understand where they're headed. This show really doesn't. Apart from the introduction of Kate Bishop's character, they do nothing to really establish the future of the MCU. It's just an introduction to Kate Bishop's character, who's a really good character, charismatic and everything. But apart from her character, there's not really anything to build up to, beside maybe a return of the main villain, but that's not exactly confirmed or a bit in the air. So that's just kind of how I feel about it. Overall, though, I really enjoyed this show. It's a solid show. I had a lot of fun with it. Interested to see what they're doing with the Marvel next year. My most anticipated Marvel film in general is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's going to be a fantastic film. It looks fantastic from the trailer come out and so on. And they have got a lot of... But that's not till May, and that's the first movie coming out in 2022. and there's only 3 films I think coming out this year. I think it's Multiverse of Madness, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and something else. I'm actually going to check now because I'm curious. But yeah, but they've confirmed multiple TV shows to be coming out this year. So I think we'll get some more before May, because that's 5 months. So I think what they might do is do a little bit to what I did. So like the first half is mainly focused on the shows, but the second half focuses on the movies. Oh yeah, so it's Thor: Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. At the moment, my most hyped film was Multiverse of Madness, but once we get some footage for Wakanda Forever, I think that could really be a strong candidate. I think it's fair to say, because I love the first movie so much. Yes, a lot of that's because of Chadwick Boseman's fantastic performance as Black Panther, so it'll be interesting to see where the film can work without him. So that's a little bit more interesting to see, but at the moment my most hyped film is Multiverse of Madness, because that's the only film we've actually seen stuff for. So that's a bit interesting. But overall, I would give this show, a solid 8.5. That's kind of how I feel about Hawkeye. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this show. Let me know what you're most looking forward to next year for the MCU. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys!